if I may, tama po ba yung nakita ko? So, nung pumasok po, nakita natin napakakalmado. Kasi po, ang description po ni Attorney Lopez, ni Yusek Zulaika, doon po sa kanyang press con, ganun yung motion niya when she was talking about how they knocked. So mukha pong kitang-kita dun sa pinakaunang video, napaka-gentle nga po nung pag-knock nung LSB personnel. So siguro po, yun po yung una. Second po, in terms of using the word barge, that did not seem to me like barging in. Kasi po, nung binuksan po yung pinto, konti-konti pa nga pong sumilip yung pong LSB personnel, Mr. Chair. The third thing that I spotted po is may ilaw pala doon sa kwarto. So parang it seemed like a matter of choice when they conducted the press conferences in the dark. So mukhang sila po yung pumili na patayin po yung ilaw doon sa press con. Mr. Chair, siguro po kung titignan po natin doon sa timeline noong press con at saka nung pagtawag nila ng medical emergency, parang meron po kasing parang 2-hour gap. So siguro, Mr. Chair, tanungin ko lang po, ano po ba ang nangyayari doon po sa labas ng kwarto? May komosyon po ba? Wala po ba masyadong tao doon? Sino po yung nasa labas noong kwarto? Doon po, nung mga panahon po yun, Mr. Chair.
Policy po, wala naman nung kailangan na nakatayo na security rin sa may pintuan kung pag-aho nakalock. So wala ho akong nakikita magiging dahilan para maging panggagalingan ng takot ng mga nasa loob. Wala po tayong tao na nandun. At tinayagan ho natin sila na puro tao ho ng OVP ang nakalapit. Noon nga pong nakakarinig tayo ng, although hindi pa natin confirm nung umpisa, na nahihirapan daw ho huminga si Atty. Lopez. So ang mga tao ho doon, tao ho ng OVP.
So, Mr. Chair, kung sa buong oras po na yon, puro mga tao lang na OVP yung nasa labas, wala naman po sigurong dahilan. Ako po ay mag-agree kay Saa. Wala naman po sigurong dahilan para matakot sila na papasukin sila ng mga sarili nilang tao doon po sa loob ng kwarto.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, can I also
Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez, you're
Right, yeah.
recognized.
maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, nakasulat din po dito sa Certificate of Confinement na pinirmahan ng 1, 2, 3, 4 na doktor mula sa Veterans Memorial Medical Center. If I may read, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please continue.
This is to certify that Attorney Zulaika Tanglao Lopez, a 50-year-old female patient, is currently admitted at our institution. She is being managed for acute stress disorder after presenting with difficulty in sleeping, anxiety, and intrusive symptoms in the form of nightmares, flashbacks, and avoidance, alongside a diagnosis of musculoskeletal strain on both shoulders, to consider chronic adhesive capsulitis, spinal asymmetry of the thoracic spine, lumbar spondylosis after presenting with shoulder pain with limited range of motion and back pain. This certification is issued at the request of the patient and is not intended for use in any medical, legal context or proceedings. The reason why I read this, Mr. Chair, is totoo po na meron po siyang certificate of confinement. Kaso lang hindi po naman po sinasabi dito ng kanyang mga doktor na hindi po siya physically
The reading of the transfer order by the LSB Executive Director outside the room of Attorney Lopez and only by the window was at 12:10 a.m., where a few minutes after, Attorney Litogo, OBP Counsel, arrived at the house detention facility. BP Duterte and Attorney Lopez held an online press conference via Zoom at 1 a.m. at the House Detention Center. This was done without the permission of the vomiting. General Taas allowed the entry of Dr. Tiamson from the EMT DDH to check the medical condition of Attorney Lopez as requested by the OBP protocol officers. While this was going on, the Sergeant-at-Arms requested for the ambulance from the PNP, and the ambulance arrived at 2:59 a.m. This is to ensure the secured transport of the patient. The PNP ambulance exited Southgate at 3:08 a.m., escorted by the SAA LSB officials and PSPG patrol cars. On board the LSB patrol are the following LSB personnel: Melvin Beltia, Jokno Tuquero, and Miss Angeline Joy Gimasad, headed for Veterans Memorial Hospital. At 3:45 a.m., Attorney Lopez was reported to be in stable condition as per report from the LSB team, Miss Gumisad, and per assessment of the doctors from the Veterans Memorial Hospital. BP Duterte instigated the transfer of Attorney Lopez to St. Luke's Medical Center at Quezon City. The convoy arrived at the St. Luke's Medical Center, Quezon City at 5:44 a.m. Attorney Lopez was discharged at 8:58 a.m. and based on the order of the Secretary General, she was transferred back to the Veterans Memorial Hospital at 12:42 p.m. Attorney Lopez is now confined at the Veterans Memorial Hospital and will stay there while awaiting the medical evaluation from the Veterans Memorial Hospital doctors. Thank you.
Thank you, SecGen. Yes, Congresswoman Mika Swansing.
Mr. Chair, before I propound questions, will our Sergeant-at-Arms also have a report, or can I go straight to my questions, Mr. Chair?
You can proceed with your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. May I first direct my questions to our Sergeant-at-Arms? Saa, isa po sa mga pinakamabigat na paratang ni Yusek Lopez doon po sa kanyang press conference ay yung pakiramdam niya po ay merong banta sa kanyang buhay. Let me quote several of her manifestations, Mr. Chair, in her press conference. Quote, "I would not have pushed that bed myself if I did not feel that I was being threatened. My life was being threatened." Another quote, "You saw in the hearing that my back hurts. I cannot lift heavy things. Pero dahil natakot ako, I feared for my life. I really pushed that by myself. Hindi lang ito harassment. This is really a threat to my life. They gang up on you in the middle of the night. Isn't that a threat to my life?" And the last quote po is, "And they bring 10 people to serve you in the middle of the night in my pajamas. This is a threat to my life. It's not harassment." So, Saa, I would like to dissect the events of that evening para po malinawan tayo bakit kaya nasabi po yon ni Yusek Lopez. So, she asserted several times that many people, quote, barged into her detention room at around midnight to serve the transfer order. Her descriptions differ all throughout her press con. Hindi po siya consistent. Paminsan sinasabi niya siyam, paminsan 10. Meron pong time nung kinorner siya ulit ng media na ilan po ba talaga. Ang sabi niya, hindi ko alam nga kung 9. Basta alam ko, they're more than me. They're more than myself. Ganun po yung sinabi niya. So I have a few questions po, Saa. First is, what is the protocol for serving a transfer order. Ano po ba yung protocol natin? Ano po yung procedures natin? And sino po yung nagsaserve ng transfer order, Mr. Chair?
The chair would like to recognize the Sergeant at Arms, Napoleon Taas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ang protocol po natin is actually ang mga nakuha kong mga question is ano yung oras? Meron po bang tinakdang oras para i-implement po yung ano? Andun po yung mga nakuha ko na nakarating sa akin ng mga text na questioning yung protocol. At ang sinabi ko nga po is wala hong specific na protocol as to the time. Ang practice po natin for the past 2 years that I've been Sergeant at Arms, every time po na merong order ang komite, ay mabilis po nating pinatutupad. Of course, consistent po doon sa kumpleto yung aming logistics. Diyan po yung tao at ready po yung lugar na paglalagyan. So yun lang po yung protocol na aming pinatutupad. Yun naman pong kung gaano karaming tao, common sense naman po yun. Ang mahigpit lang po nating sinisiguro ay yung safety and security nung nung detainee. From the time we serve until the time we effectively transferred her or them to the destination. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, if I may
Yes,
ask
Congresswoman
po,
Mica.
sino po yung bumuo ng grupo na pumasok po doon sa kwarto para po i-serve yung transfer order? Ano po yung composition ng grupo?
Maraming salamat po. I hope maintindihan po ng komite, Mr. Chairman, na
Please continue.
spread too thinly na po ang LSB dahil nga po sa presensya ng ating pangalawang Pangulo. So, minabuti ko pong ako mismo ang nag-set up po nung mga teams na mag-i-implement po nung transfer order. So basically, lahat po nung hindi naka-deploy sa ating mga gates, lahat po yun ay na-deploy. Ako ho ang nagbuo nung team na 5 lang po ang miyembro ng team na yon na magse-serve. Meron po tayong team na in charge ng convoy. Meron po tayong team na in charge ng crowd control kung sakali nga pong magkakaroon ng komosyon. At meron din po tayong team ng magsisecure dun sa magdadala na lugar na nagko-communicate directly. Na nakuha naman po natin yung sagot na meron nung available na detention facility doon sa women's correctional. So ako po ma'am, ang personal na nag-set up at nag-identify kung sino ho yung magpo-form nung magse-serve nung transfer order. Madam, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, if I may ask the
Yes.
follow-up question.
Congresswoman Mica.
Ilang tao po yung pumasok doon po sa kwarto? Ilan po yung pumunta doon sa detention room para po i-serve yung transfer order, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chairman,
Please continue.
if I may. Maganda po at yung committee po ay sa pinangalagaan din at tinulungan ng ating Sergeant at Arms at siniguro na dokumentado yung amin pong pag-serve. At meron po kaming, aside from yung existing natin na CCTV, meron po kaming backup na videographer para nga po ipakita talaga kung ano mangyari. At kung makikita nyo po, our CCTV and the videos will bear us out na 4 lang ho yung taong pumasok at 3 ang babae at nasa likod ho yung isang abogado na lalaki. So 4 lamang po. And if you will, andyan po si ating COMSEC if they want to look at the video.
Please present the video, Comsec. May
Mr.
volume
Chair,
po ba?
Opo.
May volume?
May audio po ba sa yung...
Wala pong audio ma'am ang ating CCTV.
Mr.
please
Chair,
proceed.
isa lang po ba yung footage? Meron pa po bang gustong ipakita sa SAA? Meron pa po bang
Ilang
subsequent
video footages po yan?
Ito po nakita nyo ngayon, Mr. Chairman, is galing po sa ating CCTV. Meron pa po tayong pumasok sa loob Na at makikita nga po doon na kausap na nung nag-serve na 3 babae, si Attorney Lopez. So, meron pa po kung
Please.
available, Mr. Chairman.
Your Honor, we're just having difficulty with the audio.
Mr. Chair, if the
Congresswoman
COMSEC would
Swansing.
be able to replay the videos with the audio, that might be critical to the discussion, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Your Honor, we're already doing something about the technical difficulty, Your Honor. There's an audio.
Mr. Chair, before I proceed, any more videos po, Saa? Or can we proceed with the
As far as
questioning?
wala na pong ibang pumasok, ibang pagkakataon na pumasok ko yung doon sa loob ng opisina ni Attorney Lopez. Nakita nyo, pinakamarami na ho yung mas
Detention
madalas
center.
tatlo, Mr. Chairman.
Detention center, not office.
Opo. Mr. Chair, if I may, tama po ba yung nakita ko? So, nung pumasok po, nakita natin napakakalmado. Kasi po, ang description po ni Attorney Lopez, ni Yusek Zulaika, doon po sa kanyang press con, ganun yung motion niya when she was talking about how they knocked. So mukha pong kitang-kita dun sa pinakaunang video, napaka-gentle nga po nung pag-knock nung LSB personnel. So siguro po, yun po yung una. Second po, in terms of using the word barge, that did not seem to me like barging in. Kasi po, nung binuksan po yung pinto, konti-konti pa nga pong sumilip yung pong LSB personnel, Mr. Chair. The third thing that I spotted po is may ilaw pala doon sa kwarto. So parang it seemed like a matter of choice when they conducted the press conferences in the dark. So mukhang sila po yung pumili na patayin po yung ilaw doon sa press con. Pang-apat po na gusto kong i-highlight doon sa video, kung bibilangin ko po, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to request for SAAS
Second night yung transfer order. Mr. Chairman.
Congresswoman
Chair.
Swansing.
Mr. Chair, siguro po, kung titignan po natin doon sa timeline noong press con at saka nung pagtawag nila ng medical emergency, parang meron po kasing parang 2-hour gap. So siguro, Mr. Chair, tanungin ko lang po, ano po ba ang nangyayari doon po sa labas ng kwarto? May komosyon po ba? Wala po ba masyadong tao doon? Sino po yung nasa labas? Noong kwarto, doon po, nung mga panahon po yon, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Please continue, Saa.
I believe, again, the video will bear us out. As per our policy po, wala naman nung kailangan na nakatayo na security rin sa may pintuan kung pag ho nakalock. So wala ho akong nakikita magiging dahilan para maging panggagalingan ng takot ng mga nasa loob. Wala po tayong tao na nandun. At tinayagan ho natin sila na puro tao ho ng OVP ang nakalapit. Noon nga pong nakakarinig tayo ng, although hindi pa natin confirm nung umpisa, na nahihirapan daw ho huminga si Atty. Lopez. So ang mga tao ho doon, tao ho ng OVP at hindi po yung security natin.
So, Mr. Chair, kung sa buong oras po na yon, puro mga tao lang na OVP yung nasa labas, wala naman po sigurong dahilan. Ako po ay mag-agree kay Saa, wala naman po sigurong dahilan para matakot sila na papasukin sila ng mga sarili nilang tao doon po sa loob ng kwarto. So, Mr. Chair, I was informed by the COMSEC, the video is now ready with the audio.
COMSEC?
Hi po, ma'am. Good evening. Ayan. Pwede po tayo magbukas ng ilaw? 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 Pwede po tayo magbukas mag-robe or what?
Pakilakas po yung volume.
Mr. Chair, may narinig yata ako, very faint yung audio. Pero tama po ba, may narinig ako na gusto niyo po bang magsuot ng robe niyo or what? Yun po yata yung, tapos mukha naman pong napakamalumanay ng boses. Pero para po, in the interest of time, Mr. Chair, sige po.
Oh, ma'am, good evening. Ayan. Pwede po tayo magbukas ng ilaw? Si ma'am po. Kailangan pa ni ma'am mag-robe or what? Ma'am, good evening po.
Yun, Mr. Chair. So, yun po, mukhang kita naman po to verify the manifestations of our Sergeant at Arms a while ago. Very kalmado, napakakalmado po nung sitwasyon. Nagtanong pa nga po si ma'am, baka po gusto niyong mag-robe. So, ibig sabihin po, iniisip pa po nung nag-deliver ng order yung sitwasyon ba, kung kailangan niya magtakip, kung nakapajamas nga po talaga siya, Mr. Chair. So, thank you, Comsec, for bringing that up. Mr. Chair, siguro po, nakita ko po dun sa isang video, parang yung pangalawa po yata, nung pumasok na sila sa loob, nandun po yata yung pag-surrender nung cellphone. Kasi naalala ko po, yun po yung isa sa mga naging issue ko, no? Dito po sa sitwasyon na yon, ninakaw daw. Forcibly taken yung kanilang mga cellphone. Kaya, Mr. Chair, if I may quickly request the COMSEC to please play that second video, yung pumasok po sa kwarto tapos tinurn over po yung cellphone.
Comsec.
Kung hindi naman po, Mr. Chair, kung matatagal... Ayan po, sige po.
May volume po yun.
Give or take perhaps a few minutes that they have to call their lawyer and eventually the lawyer to travel and enter the Batasan. Even if he's nearby, I think the time that he finally arrived at 10:25 is consistent with the timing. The lawyer, again, our video will bear us out that we allowed attorney Lito go at 12:25. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Access to his client.
So, Mr. Chair, dalawa po yung naging abogado ni Yusek Lopez nung gabi na yon. Tama po ba?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, just one last issue to cover before I end my questioning. Yung issue po ng medical access at saka yung ambulansya po. Kasi isa po sa mga sinasabi nila na parang naghihinalo na daw yung tao, nagsastruggle na, higit 2 oras daw pinaghintay ko, no? Bago po bigyan ng ambulansya, bago bigyan ng access sa doktor. So siguro, Mr. Chair, in the press conference, they kept on flashing that little thumbnail wherein there was an ambulance waiting outside of our south gate. And allegedly, they were saying that the house was refusing entry. So siguro, Mr. Chair, siguro yung isa ko lang na napansin doon, medyo nakakalito lang kasi nandun na yung ambulansya, pero si Yusek Lopez nagpe-press con. So parang kung merong immediate medical emergency, siguro she wouldn't be in the state to actually conduct a press conference. So siguro, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask Orsaa, ano po ba yung ambulansya na dumating ng alauna ng madaling araw habang nagpe-press con po si Yusek Lopez?
Sa?
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, ambulansya po ng Diliman Doctors yung dumating and wala naman nung sanang problemang makapasok yon. First, kung talaga hong confirmed na merong medical emergency. But then again, vehicle ho yun na hindi organic sa House of Representatives. So it has to be approved by the Secretary General, yung access po nun. Hindi pa po namin alam dahil wala ho tayong tao doon sa kwarto ni Atty. Lopez kung talagang legit yung nararamdaman, yung reklamo. So in touch naman ho tayo through the protocol officers. At nung makumpirma nga ho natin na meron talagang medical emergency at hinintay po natin yung approval ni SecGen sa entry nung ambulansya nila, which is a requirement on my part dahil nakatali ho yung kamay ko. Yung doktor po ang pinapasok natin, yung doktor na nasa loob ng ambulansya para ho ma-check si Atty. Lopez. And at the same time, we requested the Philippine National Police na magpadala ng ambulansya, which I know is about 15 to 20 minutes. Bakit po ma'am, yung ambulansya ng Philippine National Police, kailangan po siyang ilabas, I'm sure, kung talaga ho merong medical emergency. And pagka ho ambulansya ng Philippine National Police, wala na hong problema ang Sergeant at Arms na i-secure pa yung motorcade. Dahil wala na po akong tao ma'am na kaya ko pang mag-secure doon sa may sakit na paghatid sa kanya sa ospital. Yun lang po yung dahilan. At nakita niyo naman po, mukhang tama naman po yung mga naging desisyon namin. At wala naman pong malubhang nangyari kay Atty. Lopez.
So, Mr. Chair, base po sa sinasabi ni SAA, tumawag sila ng ambulansya ng alauna ng madaling araw kahit walang medical emergency. So, ano po yun? Nakaabang lang? Siguro yun po siguro yung tanong ko na is it for, ano po ba, appearances? Yun po siguro, ano po yung dahilan kung bakit sa tumawag ng alauna ng madaling araw? Dahil po, base po sa report ni SAA at ni SecGen, mga 2:30 pasado 2:30 na po ng madaling araw nung nagkaroon ng tunay na request para po dahil meron na daw pong sinasabing medical emergency at sinasabi nga din po ni SAA na nung nagkaroon na ng tunay na medical emergency at nag-request po sila ng ambulansya, within 15 to 20 minutes po dumating po yung ambulansya. So, Mr. Chair, just wanted to ask SAA and SecGen. So wala pong kahit anong level na nag-deny o nag-delay po tayo ng medical treatment kay Yusek Lopez.
Wala po, kaya nga ako yung pinakahuling order ko po ay ilipat talaga sa veterans. Kasi po St. Luke's is a private hospital, sa veterans sa government facility. So medyo may link tayo with them, no? Kung ano man sabihin ng mga doktor doon, at least from the government point of view. Kaya po finally, in-order ko na nung tanghali, ilipat na siya from St. Luke's para makita talaga natin yung real medical condition niya.
Mr. Chair, siguro po, ang tanong ko lang po kay SecGen, sa kahabaan po ng panahon na nandun siya sa detention facility, were there any measures on the part of the House to ensure her medical well-being? Meron po bang check-ups from time to time? Kasi sinasabi niya po ng press conference, they know I'm sick, they know I'm sick. So siguro po, tanongin lang po natin doon po sa 3 araw bago po nangyari yung insidente na to, meron po ba tayong pinapadala ng mga doktor? Pinapa-check up po ba natin si Yusek Lopez?
Mr. Chairman, in fact, hindi po tayo nagkulang doon. No? May medical team naka-standby doon. Morning, noontime, and afternoon, late afternoon, mine-measure yung vitals niya. But there was a point in time, ayaw niya nang magpa-measure. Gusto niya daw, doktor niya. So, yun po yung naging problema natin eh. Pero as far as we're concerned, hindi po tayo nagkulang. Pirming nandun po may medical team, minomonitor yun. And this applies to all detainees, hindi lang po sa kanya. Lahat po ng detainees dito sa custodial center, meron pong medical team, minemeasure yung vitals nila. Blood pressure, yung heartbeat, mga ganyan. Yung mga simple test lang po. Kaya lang, pag meron pong kondisyon na hindi ma-measure nung equipment natin at nung doktor, nire-recommend po nung medical team na dalhin sa hospital for further test. Yan na po nangyari kay Attorney Lopez, no? Since ayaw niya magpatingin dito sa mga doktor dito, at yun nga, hinimatay, nagsuka nung madaling araw, doon na po dinala natin sa hospital. Tapos by noon time, I decided doon sa veterans para mas confident tayo doon sa mga findings kaysa doon sa St. Luke's.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Those are all of my questions po. Sana po malinaw po sa talakayan po natin ngayong umaga na malinaw at kalmado po yung pag-serve ng transfer order. Wala pong barging in na naganap, wala pong komosyon, wala pong pagnakaw ng cellphone na naganap, wala pong pagpipigil ng access sa abogado, wala pong wala pong attempts na i-break down yung pinto, nabigyan po siya ng access sa medical personnel at medical services sa kahabaan ng kanya pong pamamalagi sa ating detention facility, Mr. Chair. Siguro po napakabigat po kasi nung paratang na ibinato ni Yusek Lopez na naramdaman niya po na parang may pagbabanta sa kanyang buhay. Hinaras siya, trineten po siya. So sana po, Mr. Chair, sa pamamagitan po ng ating talakayan ngayong umaga, naging malinaw po, na trinato po ng mabuti ng ating LSB, ng mga tao dito po sa House of Representatives, si Yusek Zulaika Lopez, sa kanya pong pamamalagi dito, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat po.